Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Obey the bumper! Please do give WrestleTalk a subscribe, as not only does it really help the channel, it means more of our videos will start to appear on your YouTube homepage to tell you about the biggest wrestling news stories, like a top wrestling promotion reportedly closing down, or not. It depends on who you ask. 2020 has been a bigger heel than that time Brock Lesnar asked for his steak well done on an episode of Raw, with coronavirus lockdown measures severely affecting the global wrestling industry. New Japan have reportedly lost tens of millions of dollars. AEW has admitted they're struggling to break even, and even WWE, by far the largest wrestling company in the world, has had to lay off hundreds of wrestlers and staff so they can still make hundreds of millions of dollars. But for the medium and indie-sized promotions without consistent TV revenue, the pandemic has been devastating. And then last month, speaking out allegations prompted several top figures there to resign. One of these was the vice president of NWA, Dave Lagana. In an interview with Hannibal TV, veteran professional wrestler Raven has claimed that NWA's owner, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan, whom Raven had previously worked with, is considering closing the promotion down after the events of the last few months. I think Billy is shutting it down from what I hear. Plus, Billy really does the booking, all the booking. At least he did with Resistance Pro. I heard from the grapevine, I heard that Billy is not opening back up. He's really disillusioned. Corgan first bought a controlling stake in the NWA in 2017 after a failed attempt to buy TNA from Dixie Carter. WrestleTalk's sworn enemy Sean Ross Sapp then added on Fightful Select that the NWA has no firm plans moving forward. Contrary to Raven's claim, Sapp writes the very positively received 80s studio format for their weekly YouTube series Power was the now departed Lagana's vision, and without him, there isn't much direction. While Corgan is very much liked backstage, he apparently hasn't been very active in the company for months. This also follows the loss of two of their top stars, with former NWA TV champion Ricky Starks signing with AEW last month, who reportedly turned down a $1,000 a month contract to stay with the NWA, and Zicky Dice, who Corgan was very high on backstage, has also been granted his release. And there might be more departures on the way. As Sapp writes, talent were told via email that if they don't believe in the vision of the NWA moving forward, they're free to leave. To replace Lagana, NWA's World's Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis was considered for the vice president role, but he doesn't have the same skill set that Lagana presented. The roster reportedly found out that Lagana was leaving the company at the same time when we all did, when his statement was publicly issued on social media. The rumours and reports have prompted Corgan to publicly address them. Posting on his official Instagram account, Corgan wrote, "A quick note about the National Wrestling Alliance, which I fought for and won ownership of a few years back. We are not shutting down, so please disregard any and all rumour to effect. The NWA is not and will not be for sale, and those talent who are under contract remain under contract for a reason, which is that we at the NWA are trying to figure out a way to provide our great fans with wrestling content in a very, very tough environment, and most importantly, keep our talent safe and the standard of production you've come to expect from us at a high level. Anything less, in my opinion, is unacceptable. So yes, appreciate the interest, appreciate the chatter, but don't appreciate the unsourced rumours and speculation." Unable to produce Power during the pandemic, NWA launched a variety show called Carnyland, using members of their roster doing an assortment of skits and shoot interview stories. But their YouTube channel, NWA's main source of distribution, hasn't posted any new content for a month. The NWA still does have a very talented roster though, including names like Nick Aldis, Eddie Kingston, Eli Drake, Homicide, James Storm, Matt Cross, Mr. Anderson, Melina, and Thunder Rosa. And they managed to overcome one controversy already, when Jim Cornette resigned as a commentator following a racist comment he made was left in the show. The NWA were positioning themselves for a very exciting 2020, as Ring of Honor talent started appearing on Power to build an ROH versus NWA angle, with Aldis versus PCO already booked for Ring of Honor's big Supercard of Honor 14 show on WrestleMania weekend, and likely a match against Marty Scurll afterwards. What do you want to see happen to the NWA next? Let me know in the comments, because I'll be replying to people from our NWA Mantor Power. Maybe they'll all just turn up this Saturday at Slammiversary. What's the WAN doing in the Impact Zone? Confirmed. One of Impact's biggest shows of the year, Slammiversary, takes place this Saturday. Subscribe for my review going up Sunday. It's set to be an eventful pay-per-view, as the 90-day non-compete clauses for all the wrestlers WWE released in mid-April expired on Wednesday the 15th of July. This means Aiden English, Kurt Hawkins, EC3 for Colognes, Eric Young, Eric Rowan, Heath Slater, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Kurt Angle, Leo Rush, Maria and Mike Kanellis, No Way Jose Rusev and Zack Ryder are, as of right now, free agents to show up wherever they like. EC3, Eric Young and Heath Slater have all teased turning up for Impact this Saturday, while Gallows and Anderson have already reportedly signed with Impact. And how they first show up might have just been revealed, as tag team The Rascals has issued an open challenge for Slammiversary. Gee, I wonder who could answer that challenge. CM Punk to Impact. While Gallows and Anderson are a likely possibility, we could also see Rhino, who is already with Impact, reuniting with his inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Championship act with a debuting Heath Slater, just a few weeks after Slater had appeared on Raw in a segment with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. But Impact isn't the only other wrestling promotion in town, as AEW has made its latest tease that some of those released WWE wrestlers could be on their way to them. AEW president Tony Khan has told Bleacher Report about his fans to bring in new faces to the promotion. I'd like to keep expanding. I think we found a great roster, but I don't think people should expect that you'll never see more people debuting or that this is it. What I'd like to do is take the best of what we have, then don't be surprised to see more new people and new faces. AEW has continued to sign people even during the pandemic, where other promotions like ROH have paused all new hires. NWA's Ricky Starks and Abaddon have just been announced as All In just the last month. But because these are largely unknown signings to AEW viewers, Khan has teased the next roster additions will be more established. I think there's going to be some other guys, maybe people you'd even be more familiar with down the line. The favourite is Cody's real-life best friend forever, Zack Ryder, who now goes by Matt Cardona since being released by WWE. Cody said last summer that Ryder is the one guy he would want to sign from WWE, and he posted a very praising message of Cardona on his Instagram following Zack's release. Who else do you want to see join AEW and why? Let me know in the comments, where I'll just be replying CM Punk. Whoever it is, they better appeal to that sweet 18 to 49 demo. After Kenny Omega said we're not looking to compete with WWE, Chris Jericho argued there's no war for us. Jim Ross said I don't care what WWE do. Matt Jackson said I don't think we should be even paying attention to what WWE is doing. Shad Khan, Tony Khan's father, said WWE is a great company, but we are not here competing with them. And Cody Rhodes said if you ever catch me tweeting about the demos, please just delete my account. AEW has just released their latest t-shirt on shopaew.com, Jericho Demo God. It's all in reference to how even though NXT has beaten AEW in the overall ratings in the last month, AEW is still outdrawing them in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is what the TV networks judge a wrestling show's success on, as it's the most important to their advertisers. But AEW won't have to get bogged down in the specifics this week, as Dynamite's Fight for the Fallen special drew 788,000 viewers to NXT's 631, a big swing in interest following Keith Lee's double title win on the previous week's Great American Bash, which is down 128,000 viewers and is the second worst demo in the show's history. This is the first time in 3 weeks that AEW has won the overall viewership. The most important thing here, though, as always, is that we're all wrestling fans. Both NXT and AEW are fantastic. Tribalism, however, is for idiots. Ain't that right, my anti-tribalist crew? So focus on this. 1.42 million people watch great, modern, adult-geared wrestling on Wednesday night this week. Because before there were the Wednesday Night Wars, we had to get our indie wrestling fix elsewhere, like WCPW. In the brand new WrestleTalk Extra podcast, Luke Owen reviews WCPW's Built to Destroy pay-per-view from 2016, with the man who was there, Adam Blompier, featuring matches with Drew Galloway, Ricochet, and Keith Lee. Become a WrestleTalk pledge hammer on Patreon now to listen to that by clicking the link in the video description below or the P on screen now. And will Seth Rollins leave WWE this weekend? Find out my thoughts in our Extreme Rules predictions by clicking the video on the right, and watch Louis Dangour's interview with Asuka by clicking the video under that. Subscribe to WrestleTalk for daily wrestling news videos. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.